Hey there, Flosstube. If you're coming from my knitting podcast, welcome back. If you are just coming for the stitching and craziness, well, welcome. Welcome. I am Sadie. I will be your host, also known as Sadie Ruin on Twitter and Instagram, and Blue Ruin on Ravelry if you are also a knitter. There's also a Ravelry group called Yarnivore. If you feel like going to that, there's a cross-stitch thread if you're in Ravelry. Welcome to the Stitch Maynia second update. And I went over this in my knitting podcast, but I will previously apologize that I have the worst nail polish job going on right now. Because I've been picking at them and I haven't had the wherewithal to actually take off the polish. So welcome. I am going to try and do this the same way I did last week. But first I'm going to move this freaking lamp. There we go. Alrighty, so finished things. I have a few FOs because of course I stacked the deck. Which makes me sound like such a horrible person. I stacked the deck. I did, but quite frankly, if I had 15 starts and I didn't finish some of them, I wouldn't do it. And I should have gotten more Mill Hill kits. I realized this after the fact, that I probably should have gotten more Mill Hill kits for the whole family. So I finished this one. And it still needs, like, I'm going to cut out pieces of felt and glue them on the back. But I'm counting them finished because they're pretty much finished. So there's that one done. It is the Christmas Jewels Garnet Spiral. So that's 3 finished Christmas ornaments. 3! I watched way too much of that as a child. I am counting this one as a Christmas ornament, even though it's not Christmassy at all. I may chicken out and not use it as a Christmas ornament, but either way, it's a kitty. It's a little kitty, and it's done. It also needs to have some felt cut out and be glued on the back, because right now it's just like that, which is why I saved the little piece, but again, counting that one as done. So that was my day 6, my day 8. My day 10 was this guy. I called him a grumpy bear before. He's clearly Sleepy Bear. I clearly have a brain cell loose, and he did not come with a backing. You have to cut your own backing, or like your own piece of cardboard backing. So that's what he's going to look like when he's eventually mounted up properly. I haven't done that, whatever. I'm still calling him done. Because the hard part is done. I'll probably have like an afternoon of FFOing and it'll all be good. He was day 10. Now, how am I going to be able to get to all of this? This is really out of order. I should have thought of it beforehand. But I didn't. So now you get to see all kinds of finagling. Finagle. Alrighty, so the 7th day of Mirabilia. Kelly, that was your fault. I just watched her vlog and it's amazing to see the mermaids coming to life. And I have decided that even though I'm only doing 15 days, on the 16th day, Monday the 16th, I am going to start my Laguna Sunrise Mermaid because I need more mermaids in my life. And that's the one I have kitted up. I haven't kitted up the other ones, but I will. So here's the bag of everything and the beads. This Mirabilia, which I did not bring in here, is the winter one. And there's not a lot to show. That's one color. It's on the MCG Textiles in the 28 count even weave. And I'm about to say something that's going to shock the nation. Shock the monkey. I don't mind this. Is it that I got a really good piece? Is it that it's not the linen, this is the even weave? What am I supposed to dislike about this? I know we got this big hate on for the MCG Textiles, but I gotta tell you, I don't hate it. I don't find it, like, yeah, it's really wibbly, but aside from being really wibbly, Like, why am I supposed to really dislike this? Because I don't. As far as the 28 count even weave, it doesn't bug me. It doesn't bug me at all. So that's the start I have on winter, which is part of the winter, spring, summer, autumn. And I have everybody except autumn. So I'm getting her done. And this is 16. This goes back in her little bag. So 16. Crap. You know, I never think of how I'm going to lay these out when I start the podcast. That's the problem. Okay. Then, so that was day 6. Then, no. Day 6 was Christmas Mill Hill. Day 7 was Winter Mirabilia. Day 8 was the Cat Small. Day 9 was Night Owl, who I also do not have a super amount of work done on. So Night Owl is this. It's a Mill Hill kit. Probably end up giving it to my mom. She actually helped me pick a bunch of my Stitch Maynia starts, and this was one of hers. And as far as it's gotten, I've got a piece of the owl done. This is when I was, okay, Night Owl is definitely when I was doing the Yule cardigan. I got kind of sucked into working on the cardigan, and I was like, oh, screw this. But I started it, so it is started. Half the battle was organizing all the floss, and the floss is organized now, so I can just jump right on in. I do love Mill Hill kits, so I know it's going to get a fair amount of working on. It's just a matter of when. Next up, okay, so after the Night Owl, I did the Sleepy Bear, and then we headed on to Dream Dancer, who sucked my soul out through my nose. Dream Dancer looks like this. It's a Joan Elliott. My problem with Dream Dancer boiled down to the floss, which still isn't 100% sure bet here, because I still don't know if I have the right colors, but they list the DMC colors, so I actually went out and bought the DMC colors I need, or that I'm confused about, so I can color match. I'm still going to end up using the actual floss that came with it and saving the DMC for something else, but I just want to show you I did start. There you go. And it made me so mad that that's all I did. But I was like, I'm starting this. I am not going to fail. I'm going to start. And I started, and yeah, that's what you get. It is exactly what you get. But once I figure out the issue with the floss, now that I've gone out and actually bought the floss to correspond to it, because they're not listed properly. And the numbers actually are off too, because they tell you how many strands of each. No, none of that's right either. It's all off. So that kind of sucked my soul out through my nose and made me want to stop, which is why very little of it got done, and I spent that night knitting. I will go back to it though. I love the pattern. I think it's just a case of the kit being crap. So after Dream Dancer came the Lanart Bird Kit, which was a little less annoying. It looks like this. I like Marjolaine Bastine. I like her birdies. I think the birdies are awesome. I'm really into birds. Not a bird watcher, but I really love birds and the aesthetic of birds. This one doesn't have a lot of large blocks of color. It's a lot of little colors. It's 6 by 7, so it's not particularly large either. It's on 28 count even weave. I'd say this is an ecru. So I got a little bit done. That was yesterday's. I basically felt that getting anything done was considered a win, because I had a really bad headache yesterday evening that kind of sucked any ability to craft. Because, you know, when you're having light sensitivity and, you know, and every movement hurts, you're just like, just let me lay here. Literally, like, on the couch, watching Friends with my husband, who cross-stitched quite a bit. I will show you some of his work. So, yeah. Start of a birdie, started the bird thing. And that one also required me to organize, floss, and I've come to the conclusion that if the next Stitch Mania, if I'm going to play that way, I'm going to pre-organize all the floss if I do any kits, because I did, for the stuff I had to kit up, the floss was already to go, and it was much more enjoyable than stuff where it was like, I have to spend time and I have to do all of this crap now before I can even stitch, and that bugged me. And then, because I was up late last night and it was after midnight, I was like, okay, so I can start a new one. And it's Friday the 13th, which is, you know, one of my lucky days, because I'm weird and I like bats and cats and crows and Halloween and all that jazz. So, and I didn't even notice that I had planned it this way, but Hocus Pocus was my start on Friday the 13th. And I love Hocus Pocus. I did want to try and change out the spooky that you get. You get a spooky and a gaze. I was going to change them out, but then I couldn't figure out how I wanted to do that or what I wanted to change it out for, because if you look at them, some of them have outlines and some of them don't. So I was going to change the gaze to the spells and spooky to the see all, but I don't know that that would work very well, because in the bottom corner is very orange heavy. So I might change the see all to the spooky anyway and just say screw it with the gaze. I am doing it on 28 count antique white even Monaco even weave, just the Charles Craft whatever. And that was an hour of stitching last night. I've got the tell of the owl tell, and I freaking love it. I freaking adore it. I'm in trouble because I've got, yes, P? Watch. One moment, please. Meow. What meow? Do you want to come say hi? Do you want to say hi to the people? Or do you just need a scritchins? She might just need a scritchins. You just need a scritchins? Scritchins. Oh, oh. Right there? Right there? Sorry, Kelly, if this is freaking your cats out with her mewing. I apologize for her mewing. She gets very impatient and demanding. Yes, she does. But at 20 years old, she gets to do whatever she wants because she's like seriously old, baby. Really? Really? Thank you. Yeah, okay. We're not making out here, Pete. Usually she doesn't care for it this long. Usually I can get rid of her before this. I apologize for this cat interlude. If you're a cat person, you understand. I'm really uncomfortable with having your foot that high up to me. There you go. Good enough? Good enough? Okay. Okay, so the P is good. Meow. What do you need? Meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow. Anywho, Owl Tell, Antique White 28 County, Even Weave Monaco. I'm loving it. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble because this is Prairie Schooler and I have a bunch of other Prairie Schoolers and now I want to do them all right now. I love it. I love it way too much. I may need to get more. I may need to, do I need more? No. Do I need to? Yeah. My addiction means I may need to buy a bunch of Prairie Schoolers because I'm friggin' loving this. So simple, yet so beautiful. The Hocus Pocus. Those are my starts this week. Here, in this lovely roll-up, is a couple of things my husband's done. So this is his first ever. He did Cubone from Pokemon. I think there's only like one little screw up, which is really good. And here is his second ever. He's decided he's going to do a bunch of these to fill like one of those multiple photo things. He did a Bulbasaur because Bulbasaur is one of my favorite. He's usually my starty guy. And I'm, make weird Bulbasaur noises. And when you can pet them and stuff, I was obsessed with petting my Bulbasaur because he smiled and was really cute. So that's his second finished object. He is currently working on a Christmas present that is probably going to be his third. And he has several more picked out. He found a bunch of Pokemon that he really likes the aesthetic of, and they're charted in Anchor. So we ordered a bunch of Anchor floss from 123 Stitch because he wants to be purist. And so there's going to be at least a couple more Pokemon coming. Those are his first two finishes. Very proud of him. He's really enjoying it. He's catching his mistakes properly and getting to unpick them, which is fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he continues onward from here. But he's not going to be stealing my stash. Although he does steal my DMC quite frequently. He does not want any of my patterns, which is nice. I don't think I would mind if he wanted to do any of my patterns, but he has his own style, which is definitely him and not me. That, and we're doing a lot, like I'm doing Christmas ornaments, he's doing Christmas presents for his family, he's doing one for each of them, and not Christmas ornaments, but a cross stitch. And I'll probably do something for my family. I have my brother, one of my brothers I have one picked out for, so definitely enjoyable. We like to cross stitch and watch TV. Weird random TV. He's not into Flosstube or podcasts. He doesn't do that. He occasionally does lean over and listen to stuff, but usually it's when I'm watching Karen of Round the Twist, who is a knitting podcast, but she also does Pokey Things, which is like a mini Flosstube. And she often speaks of her husband's gaming acumen, and my husband likes to hear about other husbands' gaming. He's weird like that. So those are my Stitch Mania starts. I have two more to go. One is a Prairie Schooler. It's the Barn Cats, where I will be changing out the cat colors to be my cat colors. And the other one is Andre. I have almost got the floss sorted for it. I've actually spent some spare time this week just making sure I have all the flosses bobbinated and ready to go. I think I'll be doing it on an antique white 28 count. I'm not 100% sure. 2/2. Hocus Pocus is 2/2. The Lanart is 2/2. Everything I'm doing is 2/2 except for the Terra Australis, which is 1/1. I am so excited for Andre. And then after that I will... It depends. It depends. See if I watch Kelly one more time, which I probably will. This is going to get started because I have all the specialty stuff for her. So I just need to go and get the DMC. See where this is going? See the problem here? That will make it 16, but I will have finished several of them. And I'll probably focus on finishing the birds because they're really small, and then like just kind of plucking away at everything. Again, I tend to knit a lot, and I haven't been knitting a lot with these starts, except for a few of them that piss me off. So chances are I will split the time between knitting and cross stitching again, and I will slow down a little bit. But having said all of that, it's been fun doing Stitch Mania. I don't know that I'll do it again next year, or I might nerf it even more and do like 2 starts or 4 starts. I'm not sure. But I'm enjoying it this time around, and hopefully this means I actually get more stuff done this year. Who knows? I will see everybody next week.